Hi, it's Ron Tube. Today on theAngler, it's a very special day because the first new reserve has just been released. That's right, Norway Reserve DLC and the Legends update is out today. So we're going to go over what's in this update and all the brilliant details they've added in this new content release. So, Norway Reserve DLC and Legends update. Our first new reserve DLC is out. Welcome to Norway. With a magnificent location to explore, 13 new species to catch, 67 new missions to tackle, and many more surprises to discover. This new reserve promises to keep you hooked. So let's go in, shall we, for our first time, see what Norway's like. What's more, we're making Norway free to redeem till January the 5th. This should give enough time for all players, veteran anglers or newcomers to claim this new reserve and add it next to Golden Ridge Reserve in their collection of awesome angling locales. Get the Norway Reserve for free on Steam, Epic Games Store or Microsoft Store now. So in this massive update, there's lots of things to go over and we're going to start with this now. So first we're going to start with features and quality of life improvements while you take a look around at this beautiful trailer for Norway, the new map. Legendary fish have been added to Golden Ridge Reserve. See if you can find and catch these elusive legendaries. Now here's some of the dev team notes. There are 3 unique legendary fish. You got Big Larry the catfish, Sidewinder the lake trout, and Goldstein the largemouth bass. So these are on Golden Ridge Reserve now. They've backfilled that. Emotes are now available for the quick menu to communicate and show off with. I'll show you a few of these in a minute. There are 6 emotes coming with Legends. Hello, thanks, Jumping Jack, Council Pop, Chest Beat and the Cheeky Wine. They're the emotes and I'm going to show you some of those in a minute. You've got new achievements. They've been added to recognise your feats and efforts in the new Norway Reserve. There are 5 new achievements to exclusively unlock in Trollsporet, Naturzerat. I think that's how you say it. I'm not Norwegian, so forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. The Norway Reserve is free to own forever if you add it to your account before January the 5th, 2023. However, in case you missed it, know that you'll still be able to join your friends in Trollsporet if they own it. So the devs say, spending time with friends is one of the best parts of the angler, so we made sure Norway wouldn't reduce your ability to fish with your buddies. So basically, if you go in multiplayer, you can still play with friends, even if you don't claim it by January the 5th. New daily and weekly challenges have been added to the Norway Reserve. Trollsporet will have its own selection of challenges, allowing you to score even more XP by playing in both reserves. Lure physics have been greatly improved, orientating correctly as you reel in. Lures weren't moving as we intended, so we've globally updated their behaviour to improve the lure presentation across the board. That's really a good touch, thank you for that. Additional catch information is now captured on the catch reward screen with the duration of the fight and your account name. So I'm going to do my first fishing now. Just have a quick look around the town. We're not going to explore everywhere, it's too big to do in one video. No matter how long it is, you will not discover everything. So we're just going to have a quick look around now what there is. I'll show you a few things and then we're going to do fishing. I'm going to carry on with these notes. We've noticed some of our players are a little competitive, so we've added more details to help facilitate comparing scores. A 24-hour clock has been added to the map, which is very useful, displaying the time of day or night. The time of day affects the activity of different fish species, so armed with your clock, you'll be able to better target specific fish. A flashlight can now be manually toggled on and off via the quick menu at the time of day. Previously, the flashlight was automatically switched on and off and fixed at times of the day. This update puts you in control. Just be aware it won't be highly visible during the day. So here we are. One's doing a little dance. This is one of the new emotes. A new glowing float has been added for fishing at night. That way you can clearly see it even in pitch black conditions. Now I used to do a lot of night fishing with night floats, so I'm glad they've added that. Imagery has been added to the game guide to improve the clarity of the information present in it. So basically the game guide with the journal has had pictures added to make it easy to understand what the tutorials are referring to. The save system has been further improved, which is great news, with auto backup and restore functionality to handle any save corruption. Your progress is important, so we've put in additional systems to ensure its integrity remains in check. So here goes, we're going to cast our first line. Let's see which of the new species we get. Right, patch notes. UI. The option to rebind the reeling input has been restored. We'd like to welcome all the players who use a reverse trigger layout back to the game. The gamepad binding prompt for reeling faster has been updated in the tutorial. The tension meter has had the small vertical lines at the top and bottom of the gauge removed. Lure and bait preferences that were cropped within the handbook have been fixed. If the player runs out of money in the shop, items will now update correctly to inform that they cannot be afforded. Fixed an issue that would allow players to attach the same tackle to two tackles equipped to two identical rods. Issues with navigating the Apex Connect menu with the controller has now been fixed. Traits in the handbook are no longer displayed incorrectly after swapping quickly between tabs. So there's our first fish. What do you think? Atlantic salmon. And that's only a small one. Right, on to gameplay. Resolved an issue where diamond and gold rank fish could spawn in bodies of water where they should not. It's no longer possible to instantly catch a fish that swims directly below the player. Depth is now factored in correctly. The largemouth bass compatible baits have been updated. Using the quick menu on the boat to switch rods no longer puts you back in the seat. To resolve the problem of switching camera perspectives when interacting with the shop or vehicle spawners after catching a fish. Updates have been made to the classic tackle pack rods and reels to correct their stats. The strike notification whilst luring was sometimes too short to react to. This no longer happens. The channel catfish can now keep up with the reeling speeds of 2 or higher. Now on to visual. Improved the behaviour of the float during the casting sequence. The issue with the day-night cycle occasionally switching and transitioning to the wrong time of day has been resolved. Specular issues with the wetness volumes of underwater surfaces in the Emerald Lake region have been fixed. Clayton has had his annual visit to the dentist to have his teeth cleaned up. Seems bizarre. Water boys are once again floating. The water wheel on the wheelhouse of the watermill location now spins the right way and has had the intersecting post removed. Multiplayer improvements have been made to the replication of other players' rod bending during fish fights. Audio dialogue no longer continues to play if you exit the main menu whilst it's playing. We reduced the proximity of the remote player fishing audio so you only hear players when you're closer to them. And that's Legends basically. We'll hope you have a blast discovering Norway and all these new additions and improvements we brought to the game with this latest update. And don't forget, the Norway Reserve is free to claim and own forever till January the 5th, 2023. So make sure you head to Steam, Epic's Game Store or Microsoft Store to go get it now. So we've just got our second fish. It's an asp. Nice little fight. So you can catch decent sized fish right from the off. Let's try a frog, shall we? Now they've been working with lures, making the presentation better. I can already see lots of water improvements in front of me. I've noticed as well that fish come in as strike at lures now. So we're getting to where we want to be. It's a massive update. It's a beautiful, stunning reserve. All these improvements. And this is all you need to do. Just keep building on this, adding content, making Call of Wild theAngler better with each update. And it's just only going to get better and better and very popular. So, I know it didn't start out on the greatest foot, but it's getting to where we want it to be now. And this update looks like we're getting it right up to where we want it to be now. So what we've got here, I think we've hooked a torpedo. Loch Ness Monster or something. We are going to struggle to get this in. I'm already on 30 and it's like I've got it on the lowest drag setting, and this isn't weak setup. I don't know what this is, but it's something big. So we might not get this in. I'll try my best. But I didn't expect this off this starting pier. It was nice seeing it come for the lure and strike it as well at speed, so that's very realistic. But there is a lot of predatory fish in Norway. It is a mecca for pike, perch, other species. So I'm expecting there's going to be some real monsters in Norway. Can't wait to see how big the pike go. I did see the devs say in the stream when Jax was talking, saying that the pike and the perch are actually bigger, I think, at Norway. So you might have a lot of fun trying to get some of these big pike in. If you've hooked a pike in Colorado Angler, a really big one, you know what I mean. You're fighting them for 20-30 minutes sometimes, and they'll give you every bit of fight they've got. So we can't do it with this. It's just like a train, man. I'm just hoping, yeah, we're not getting it in on that gear. I have got a heavier rod and we'll have to try and lure it in with that. But it's good to know we've got monsters right where we start. So right off the bat, we know we're in for a fun time. So let's have a look at the map, because I know you want to know what it looks like, the layout. Well, basically, it's a big sea on the left, and that comes inland into big, massive, monstrous lakes. And by monstrous, I mean monstrous. As you can see, there's 3 or 4 main ponds in the middle sort of area, and they split off into wild streams that feed other ponds and lakes all around the reserve. So I can't wait to go and explore the big lakes, do some lure fishing, bait fishing, but then go around all these wild little streams and see what's in there. Probably brown trout, things like that will be in those, in the like streams you can literally jump across, things like that. And then you've got all these little ponds out of the way. So there's a great way of variety. You can fish however you want, and there's lots of areas to explore. So where will you start first? Will you start where I am, have a fish around here, get in a boat, go around all the lakes? Or are you going to go wander around all the streams, or try some of these small ponds right on the edge of the reserves? Let me know in the comments where you're going to head to first, what you're going to fish for first. That's the point. What species is there? Let's take a look, shall we? So we've got 14 in total, 13 are new. So we've got the asp, got the bream. I used to fish for those a lot on course fishing. We've got the burbot. We've got the bullhead catfish. Got the Arctic char. We have those in the Lake District in the UK. They're normally in deep ponds. Over here they normally troll for them in a boat because they're really deep down. I think they're really old species as well. Got chub. I fish for them a lot. Rivers near me like the Trent are absolutely stuffed for them. Very popular. Grayling, you get them near me, Derbyshire. We've got them where they're in small, shallow, fast-flowing water. Absolutely beautiful. The fin especially makes them look really nice. I'd never actually fished for those. European perch, I've fished for these all my life. They're one of my favourite species, mainly with little map spinners, things like that, and other lures. But little spinner blades and things like that really get you some nice perch. Lobworms work good as well. Next we got one of my favourites, northern pike. I can't wait to see how big these are at Norway. In real life, right, Norway, Sweden, they're absolutely amazing for how big the pike go there. So we've got roach as well, another firm, popular coarse fishing fish. We have a lot of them here. Fish with my maggots over here normally. Got the Atlantic salmon. We've just caught one of those. I don't know how big they go, so if you know all about Atlantic salmon, let me know about it. Next is a brown trout. Caught quite a few of these. They're normally in like wild streams, so I'm expecting that's where they'll be on this map, in the small tiny streams. Fast flowing water, very clean water as well normally. And zander. So there we go, that's all the species. Can't wait to fish for zander. Over here we fish for zander in like drains, which is sort of like a canal. And time of day makes a big difference. So most people normally fish for dead baits, leisure dead baits. So I've got onto my heaviest setup now, because we're going to try and catch that missile that just snapped me on the lighter gear. And it weren't light gear, this is like lake trout gear. So if I hook him on this, we know we're probably going to get him in. 25 kilo braid. So in real life, I really car him. You could reel in some very big fish, basically, with this setup. You just got to try and get him to take the frog. And as you can see, now, lures, they make the ripples, they perform better in the water. Visually, you can see the fish striking, so it's really transformed lure fishing. Not only that, the line looks better, the casting's better, the animations are nicer. It's coming together now. We're getting what we finally wanted. And I can't wait to see what's on the rest of Norway. Here we go. Is that the same one or is it a smaller one? It won't matter on this gear. Get in here, you. Trying to ruin my video. I don't mind it really. It's realistic. It does happen. Sometimes you fishing small fish and something big takes your stuff and snaps you. And that's only a silver. Look at that. That's almost like the size of a lake trout sort of thing. You know what I mean, size? And that's a silver. What's a diamond going to be like with these? God damn, I think we do need some better gear, I think. It will definitely give it a run. So I'm on Tube. I've been looking at the Norway Reserve DLC and Legends update. Hope you enjoyed the video. Go check it out. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.